Welcome to Charts and Targets, where we like to trade, make money, have fun, enjoy, go fishing, right? Play golf, race cars, do whatever you like to do. Garden. Hey, let's see. It's Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. And it's the 7th. Okay, so here there we go. Say good morning to everybody. How are you? Hey, I'm going to do something a little different today. The chart's going to look a little different, and I'll explain why here. Let's go back to a big chart here. There we go. I'm also checking to see here. Okay, there's live. Bear with me just for a second. Still learning about some of this stuff. Okay. All right. So on the chart here, I have one moving average, and that's the 50-period moving average, and there's a reason for that. Do something, like I say, do something a little different today, and you'll see where I'm going to go to with this in a second. I do first have the VIX up here, and I think the VIX is getting a little bit, it's a little bit bullish. That's not good for a trader that's a bull, because when the VIX is bullish, that means there's a little bit of fear in there, and we're setting up pretty nice here, a low to a high, and we could start moving up. We could get to that 50% retrace area pretty easy. We move up there, that's going to cause a little fear in the market. However, the market might not completely fall apart, but we could wiggle right up there. It's going to make the market a little nervous. So I think, be a little careful. Let's watch that quite carefully. Here's, looking at T21.23 yesterday, it did nothing at all to give us any hope, anything to say that the bulls are back in town right here. So a little cautious there. And here's VXX. I have this on the left. I think everybody knows that, right? Here's kind of a bigger picture of that VXX right here. And there's the daily chart, and you can see that we could be headed right up into that 2220 up there, and that will cause some grief in the market. So let's see. Okay, all right, that one. There it is. Sorry for the pause. I had to bring up the what I wanted here. All right, so let's take a look at the SPY here real quick. There we go. And with the SPY here, again, we're doing this a little bit different, and it's because I just want to show the 50-period moving average is traveling up here, and you can see that it's bullish, right? And you can see these pullbacks that have come back to that 50-period moving average and bounced off. We'll say yes for now, for today, because we're not through it yet. We're not below it yet. And that's what I want to show, is that when we move back into the 50 or a major moving average, and the moving average is still trending up, I'm going to assume that this is going to continue to trend up until it doesn't. So what I'm looking for right now, and unless everything caves in, let's say we get super bearish and we just really start falling apart, and price just starts getting below that 50-period moving average a little too much, something like this, maybe we come up and test, and then maybe we fail. Well, we've got ourselves a blue ice failure right there. Well, that's not good. Well, then this whole game is over until we get an absolute reversal. Now, I mean, we're clearly down right here, and one would clearly say, well, we've been bearish, for a few days. We've got a high, a low, lower high, and we've got a lower low. Well, we're at a major moving average right now. So to me, it's kind of tough to trade, because we're at a possible turning point, a very possible turning point. Now, that turning point It may not be right away. In fact, I would be really surprised if it did. In other words, I'd be really surprised if all of a sudden today we just did something like that. And it could happen. There could be some news come out, possibly announcement that government opens up. I don't know how big of a candle that'll make, but I think it will turn the market back bullish. That I do. So let's just say that we just put some kind of bottom in here. Maybe we slip a little below and then some kind of bottom. And then what happens is, price starts working its way back up off that 50-period moving average like it's done multiple times before. All right. Same sort of thing, right? Well, that happens with stocks. Now, I think everyone knows that I'm a believer. Trade with the market. What the market is doing, stocks are doing. I find it much easier to trade that way, much easier to explain. And, I think it's just good trading. So when we look at stocks, let's take a look at some stocks that are doing the same thing, where the 50-period moving average continues to rise and we've pulled back. Now, if this take Best Buy here, Best Buy, if we were to start, getting a little bullish in here and maybe a breakout right over there, wouldn't that be a nice trade? Swing. That's what we look for, are swings. And then we've got the possibility of that breakout as well, right? So I like to put these lines on there like this, quadrant lines. So now I can see, well, there's the 50% retracement. There's the 618. So we start getting bullish. There's some targets up here, just like that. Okay. Take GE. GE is like that. I mean, there's a bunch of them. Okay. I've just scanned for them. And right now I'm using just the CBEO 400 list. And I think I have the top 500 or 600 on there, best I can tell on there. So see, and if you look at GE, again, we're just using a major moving average here. And if we just, here's our downtrend. I mean, that's exactly what we have here, right? And, downtrend, and there we get close to the 50. And I think I've set it so that I think it's the scanning is around 6%. Can be away from, within 6% of the 50. So now that might or might not be it. I mean, that clearly, clearly, right? So anyway, this might be a strategy that some folks might like, is using the moving average, basically a bounce off the moving average, or you can call it a kiss of the moving average, or whatever you want to call it. But we're looking for a trending 50, a pullback to that 50, and then a reason to start buying it. Your reasons could be, could be many. Some people, let's find one that just, wow. Now I can't find one. Well, I'll take PRTA. I mean, there's no real buy signal here, not at all. But there are traders that will buy right in there. And I understand it. We're less than 3% from the 50. So that makes a very nice stop. Risk is reasonable. And then you're looking for that swing back up to this top and maybe higher there. So there was a couple nice ones as I was flipping through there. Take a look at net. Could net be ready to do that? And then, we take the top of net and come down to that bottom. Well, there's the 50% of net. I want to know what that is right there. So, man, that could be a nice trade. And these tend to be a little longer term hold, not a year, not 6 months, but not 3 days either. Very unlikely we're going to go from here to here in 3 days. Very unlikely. But that longer hold, and then we're up here at 15% with an option. Man, that's pretty darn good up there. I hope that makes sense to everybody. There we go. Oh, good morning over there. Sorry, guys. Thanks everyone for logging in on the social side of things. Okay, I didn't have the view turned on. So if you have questions about this, just let me know. Okay. So here, let's take a look at some charts. Hey, good morning, Sharon. You're looking at QLYS. There we go. QL. Yeah, look at that. QLYS up. Beautiful. So at this point, we've got yesterday's candle, which I think is fantastic. I need to fix there we go. Now that looks better, doesn't it? Now that we've got yesterday's candle finished and we're there today, how about we draw a line like that? If we start getting below those bodies, I prefer the bodies just because the tails are too far down there, but I tend to like bodies better than tails. But right there, absolutely buyable. Let it start working itself back up. Nice chart. I need to check something on this screen. Yeah, there we go. There we are. Let's see. Hey, Sonny, you're looking at some Pepsi, my drink of choice. Yeah, let me move back over the chart that I'm usually looking at. So here's Pepsi. We're down to that 200. And this is the same theory as I was talking about with using the 50, using a major moving average. You know, we've run up, we've pulled back, we find support on a major moving average, and now we can, start looking at this as a trade. Right here, for possible bottom, a trade, absolutely, 100%. It looks like it's putting in that bottom. Risk can go all the way down to the recent low of about 2.75, or I don't know, right in here, 1.25, right at the dotted deuce. And now this starts cooking. Well, it could be a longer hold, not just a 2-3 day hold back up to this top. I mean, look what it did over here, right? Did the same thing, down and all the way back up. And that's what we're looking for here. A lot of stocks are going to be down because the market's down, which is for no good reason. Now, if a stock deserves to be down, it deserves to be down. But there's a lot of stocks that don't deserve it. It's just simply because the market is down. Okay, so that could be, that could be part of the problem with Pepsi right there. So absolutely. So you had another one up there, CORNCOHHR. There we go. Nice pop, pullback. We need a buy signal in it is what we need. Trend is working. You just need a reason to buy it. Just blindly buying, I don't think is cool. But we need that buy signal here. So let it come down, see if we can get the buyers in there, and then it just might start moving up there. PEN, nice gap. That's just a simple, when it starts breaking out here on pen, PEN, yeah. So nice gap up, we're holding. If we, can build some support through here, see the buyers start rolling this back up, then that may be a buy. We probably should do something like that right there on this one. And then look for that breakout, okay? Do I have shorts? Not the kind I wear. Yeah, we'll look at some here in a minute. If anyone has any, please post them up there. Yeah, absolutely. So let's come over here. Good morning again, everybody. Appreciate you being here. BYND. Oh boy, BYND. BYND. My thoughts on a long. Not with your money. I mean, I wouldn't trade it with your money. No, I wouldn't. I've got to have some logic in a chart, and I've got no enemies in this world. I've got none. And if I had an enemy, I wouldn't trade this with their money. I would feel bad and guilty. And I'm dead serious. I see charts like this, and I need some explanation, to be honest. No, not long. I mean, I like to say, I need some help on this because it's just nothing there. Okay. Plug. I don't know if we're looking long or short, but right now, plug would appear to be short because that's what the trend is doing. The trend is short. We trade in the direction of the trend. The trend is your absolute best friend. And that's the trade. That's the direction you trade until that trend changes. Bottom pickers might buy it. like this, but even a bottom picker needs, a sign that there's a bull in there somewhere, a buyer in there. And right now there's no signs of that. So plug is definitely watch list material. Absolutely. But I would sure want to see that trend change or a reason to be a buyer in plug. Where else am I here? XLV. Let's take a look at that. XLV. Whoops. XLV here. XLV looking good. Nice. I mean, we're trending up. Right now, if you ask me, 99.9% of all charts look like garbage to me right now. And that's because the market is garbage and we've been chopping around. So I look at XLV. It's not my kind of chart. It looks like garbage. But if you take your personal likes and dislikes out of it, that's a pretty nice looking chart. We're still trending up. Everything is still working. Let's take some chop out of it and look at a 2-day chart. Look at that. It just cleans it up crazy. Take a look at the 3-day chart. Look at that. XLV looks beautiful. 4-day chart. Wow. It gets better and better. 5-day chart. XLV is a buy. I'm going to write that down. Yeah. So I hope everybody does that. I know that most traders, they look at a chart and they tend to go down hourly, 15-minute, 10-minute, 5-minute, even the 1-minute. Ouch, that hurt. But seriously, try going higher. I think it's better for the chart, better for the trade. So XLV on the daily looks absolutely ugly to me. On the weekly, it looks absolutely beautiful to me. So, yeah, go up higher. Nice chart. Thank you very much, Neil. Appreciate it. Let's look at Gilead, Gild, Gilead. Here's Gilead trying to break out. Here's a 2-day chart, 3-day chart. Look at that. Here we are down. Big bullish reversal. Bullish engulf. I'll get it out. And then we have that follow through. There's the 4-day chart. Look at that little consolidation, kind of a pop out of the box. And then there's the 5-day chart, weekly chart. Look at that little flag. And here we are popping out. Gilead. That is on the market. Thank you, sir. Let's see here. What do we have here? Sono long, SOUN long. Make sure I have it. SOUN long. Yeah. Why? I know who this is. Okay. And I'm sorry, but you always put this shit out here and with no explanation. And why long? And we're still moving down here. So no, not okay. No, not. Don't put that stuff out there anymore without explanation. All right. Sorry to be an ass, but good grief. Put reasons and explanations. Let's take a look at Dell. So here's Dell. We've got a top. We're moving down. Dell, I think short. I don't think I would be short Dell until we got through that 50-period moving average right here. I don't think I would do that because overall, if you look at Dell, Dell has been a powerhouse. That's a powerhouse. Look at that thing. Up, 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 up. So we put a little top in here. Okay. We're pulling back, but we're pulling back to an extremely powerful moving average, and we're too close to it. So here are 2 possible ways I would short it. 2 possible ways. We pop up and we fail. All right. We can do that. Now I see the possible short, or we get under that 50-period moving average and then short under that area. But right now there might be too much of a risk of some bulls stepping in here. All right. And if they step in, and again, I'm just going to draw an imaginary line right here. If the bulls step in and then it comes up and then we roll, that might be a good short right in here. But to short right there, I don't think so. I just don't think so. ENPH, ENPH for short. Yeah, that's still headed down. Nothing about that is bullish right now. Yeah, we can't even fight for a double bottom here, can we? So anything lower a short, we start moving higher, it may get clobbered up here around the 50, but so just watch price action up there is what I would do. Okay, so yeah, but right now that definitely looks like a short here. Here, I'm going to go over to my short list and let's see what. Let me go check on the SPY real quick. Yeah, so let's see what I have for shorts. I know that nobody wants to short gold. That's sort of sacred, right? But nevertheless, gold has not been acting very good. Here's junior minor blue ice failure setting up. See how we're down, and we tried to pop up, but we couldn't get there. We're under the 50 period moving average. We've got a low, and we're higher than the recent low. Well, this is setting up for a nice tight H pattern. This is a nice bearish 3-8 trap right here. Look at AEM, just kind of scooting along that 50. That's setting up possible short. It's also setting up where if we start to break to the upside, I would look at that as long as well. GDX, these are all at the top. I'm not. I didn't massage these at all. Look at GDX under that 50. Just looks like it's just going to try to get down there. How about PAAS? Here's our downtrend. Here's a good example of a blue ice failure. Here we're down. We pop up and fail. We're down again. We fail. And now we're starting to cruise downhill here. But that's a great example of a blue ice failure. Anyone else lose Rick? Yeah, I think I'm good there, Sharon. I think. All right. Here's FTAI. There's a nice short. Look at that right there. Nice blue ice failure. And when I'm looking at these, I'm shorting these toward that 200 period moving average. That's what I'm looking for, going from one moving average to another moving average. There's a SILJ, KTOS. There's shorts right there. Okay. So anyway, that's what I've got there. I see you guys have some more charts up here. Let's go take a look at it. IWM, blue ice failure. Yes. Yeah. Blue ice failure. That's just, a failure of the 50 period moving average. Yeah, that's not looking too good at all, is it? So until something changes, the market remains on the weak side, the seller side. Sellers have the advantage right now. Sellers have the advantage. Let's see if I can find something that's a little different, but kind of the same. There we go. Kind of the same, aren't they? Well, let's take a look at Joby. See, Joby is still moving down here. Joby. Okay. Anyone have anything else? CRML. If I missed something there, please type it again. Yeah, CRML is short. This is also one that I am watching very closely for a long, and I'm going to wait for the right time. And the right time will be when we get those buy signals in there. But in the meantime, yeah, this is definitely on that short side and still headed down with good grief. Look at that. Down to the 200, about 43%. So CRML, that's a good looking short, Daryl. Yeah, very nice. Let's see, DP. I just saw somebody posted that. Domino's is still short. I can see we have a double bottom here, or maybe close to it. And things like double bottoms, inverted head and shoulders, All these fancy names that have been given to chart patterns over the years, they only mean something. They're meant to watch because there's no guarantee they're going to work. So that's where price action comes in, and we have to monitor how price action acts around them. So I can see where somebody's looking at this possibly as support to be long, but I just don't see that until we see the bulls in there. And this is where we get into, and I know that I have a very different view of trading than many traders, where there are a lot of traders that they're just buy right in here, and I wait until we prove it. And I'm not going to lie to everybody here, okay? I've been doing this 36 years. I've done what you've done. I've seen traders come and go like a revolving door that play this game right here. Those that play this game, I've seen them come and go. 36 years, I'm still here because I wait for proof. And the trade, the trade that is most successful, and if you ever get a chance to talk to successful traders, go buy them a beer sometime, sit at a table, buy them a dinner, just start talking about trading. And their number one trade, by and large, maybe the number one is the wrong way to put it, but by and large, their best trades come when they see proof, and their trade is this, not this down here. So anyway, like I say, it don't get caught in the revolving door of trading. All right. Okay. Hey, Joe, BW. Let's see. BW doing well. Yes, BW is doing fantastic. So right now, just put that line in there. You can use today, yesterday, the day before. I'm going to go to a 2-day chart. That's what I'll do. Move that up, and there we go. Anything above that 484 level is a buy. Let's watch for that thing to swing to the upside. It may just kind of go sideways because the doggone market is a little bit weak, Hey, Sonny, just curious, still bullish or on the fence of being bearish? So far, I think what we have is a bullish pullback. I am still bullish overall. Below the 50-period moving average would change that. Now, I know that price is below the trend indicator. The T-line's still not quite there, but it may be below it today. But overall, if you take the chart and just shrink it up, what does that chart look like? That chart is still marching forward. It's still marching up. But we do have a bearish pullback here. So I would have to call this, to me, it's a bearish pullback, but to me, it's a bullish pullback. And it's a pullback within still a bullish trend. That's one reason why I wanted to point out these charts that I was looking at today, like this. And if we start seeing buying on that 50-period moving average, this might be a good little place to start buying. And you know what could happen too is we could still pop down and then come back up, and then that would be the same thing as well. We get below the 50, I am without question, without a shadow of a doubt, bearish, 100%. So now with that said, you're not going to see me buy too many long charts today, not at all. And probably not very many short charts, if that, just because, well, one, it's Friday, and two, when things are not best in your favor, it's probably best not to trade. So cash is a good position here. All right. Whoops. I got somebody wrote me a note here. Let's see. I don't see the link in the 2-hour session on the website. Is it posted anywhere? I believe you are talking about the members e-learning yesterday, and we canceled that yesterday. Thanks for asking. All right. Hey, it's about time for me to get out of here. Anyway, I'll get this, the code I've got written for this. It's just pretty clean, but somebody might want it. And I'll post this in the trading room as soon as I get off and get myself kind of organized here. All righty. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I do have one question. Here, I have a question for everybody. I'm thinking about being here live on Sunday night or Monday night. Any preferences? Anybody want to shoot something out? Sundays or Mondays nights are better? Anybody? We'll do this. We'll do this. There we go. Sunday or Monday. Sundays are better. Anybody over here on the live feed? Sundays are better. Both. Yeah, football nights. I know. It's hard. I can't compete with football. Either, Urena, either. Hey, Urena, thanks. I'll try to get a hold of you today, by the way, okay? Either one, Mondays. What time? Probably 7 my time, 8 Eastern, something like that. Let's see. Sunday would be best. Wasn't here. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, we'll figure it out. All right. Hey, I want to thank everybody today. Thank you so much. We'll see everybody in the members in the room here in just a few minutes. Good trading to everybody. What's the number one rule on trading? Don't lose money. What's the number 2 rule? Don't lose money. All right. We'll see everybody in about 30. Okay. You guys take care. Thank you over here in the live stream. All right. You guys all take care. Bye-bye.